Hello you guys, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a beginner's makeup tutorial. I will be showing you guys how to do a step-by-step tutorial on how to apply your makeup. So let's get right into it. I want to do a step-by-step tutorial, especially for those that are new in makeup and you don't know how to apply your makeup or what are the actual steps. Again, makeup is so personal. You can apply makeup the way you feel like fits best for you. But we're gonna do a more modernized way of how makeup can be applied. And you guys, I promise I'm wearing a top. It looks like I'm not wearing anything, but I promise I'm wearing a tube top. Okay, so first we're gonna start up with the skin. So typically you would go in with your skincare. When you wake up, you do your morning skincare routine that requires more serums, treatments, and just more hydration for your skin. But before you do makeup, you do want to do some sort of skin prep. Typically, by the time that I do my makeup, all of that morning skincare has already sitting in my skin. So basically, I kind of have to do like a refresh for my skin, and that is skin prep. Now, skin prep doesn't have to be crazy. It could be a 5-step, a 3-step, even a 2-step, just moisturizer and your lip balm. But I do like to add just an extra step just to make sure the skin is very hydrated. So first I like to go in with a spray or a toner. Here are two options that I love. First, I do have the Dalva First Spray Serum. I like this one because it does have the serum infused in the spray. And it's just very hydrating. It gives this beautiful light glow into the skin. A newer product to me is the Thayer's Milky Hydrating Toner. Right now, milky toners are really on trend right now. But honestly, these are perfect for skin prep because it has that milky consistency. So today we're going to try this one. I was very lucky to find this one in stores because it's literally sold out everywhere. And this is the mini size, which is perfect. So I put some on my hand and it feels and looks very nourishing. Oh wow, that feels like water on my hand. Just applying this on my hands feels super nourishing, like to the extreme. I'm not even kidding. I'm going to dump it on the palm of my hand. And you can see it has that milky consistency. Let's apply her. Wow. I've never tried a toner this hydrating and nourishing on the skin. It feels absolutely incredible. I did do my morning skincare routine, but by the time I do my makeup, all of that skincare is already sunk into my skin. And keep in mind, I do have dry skin, so anything that I apply in my skin gets absolutely absorbed. Toner has snow mushroom and hyaluronic acid, and look how it's already giving me like that light glow onto the skin. I absolutely love this one. 10 out of 10 recommend. If you guys want to mix both, go ahead. If you want that ultimate glow, I absolutely recommend using both. But I have more sensitive skin, so I just opted for this one. Next up in my skin prep step is moisturizer, and I love going in with my Olay moisturizer. I've been using this one for years. Use the sensitive skin one. This is one of my favorites for prepping the skin. And just going with light layers to really let it absorb. And just going with a light layer. Again, light layers are very important to not have that heavy layer of skincare on your skin. Next step, we always want to add hydration onto the under eyes. So I love going with the Dalva Multi Balm Stick Serum. This is one of my favorites for the under eyes. It definitely gives that hydration for the under eyes without it being heavy. Let me just do it on one side so you guys can see. It does have that serum. You can see the product. That yellow dot in the middle, that's basically the serum infused in the balm. So I basically just tap it under my eyes and no tugging. Hopefully you guys can see a difference. You can see that glow it gives, which is perfect for the under eyes. Just 2 swipes and just tap it in. And last step is for the lips, and been loving this new e.l.f. lip balm. This is their Glow Reviver lip balm in the shade Strawberry Shortcake. And this one's super hydrating and again, nourishing while giving that glow into your lips, which I love. Like, look at that. Juicy lips in seconds. Love. Definitely a new favorite. So next we gotta do the brows. This is where I'll go ahead and frame the face with my brows. Going with a towel and just removing any excess skincare that might have been left from the prep that we just did. This just helps to like give the brows a good grip, so when we apply products, they don't slip and slide. So this is where you apply your brow products, your brow gel, your brow pencil, whatever it is. I love going with only a brow gel since I feel like my brows are already thick enough. So I love going in with my Rare Beauty Brow Lamination Gel. And sometimes I'll just apply a brow pen, which is perfect to mimic like those brow hairs. But today I'll just go in with the brow gel and basically just coating my brows with the product and shaping them the way I want them to be. Making sure every strand of hair is coated. That's another tip I want to give you guys. When you do apply brow products, especially brow gel like these, make sure you're really coating your brows. That's how you're really going to know that your brows are going to stay in place all day. Once I applied a good amount of brow product, I let it sit just for a few seconds, maybe till a minute, and then I'll press them down just for that laminated effect. And just like that, and the brows are not going nowhere. Okay, next step, I typically do eyeshadow, but since this is a beginner's friendly makeup, we're gonna go right into the skin. This is the time where you take that decision and see if you want to further prep your skin. Typically with skin prep, you do want to seal everything in with the SPF. I'm not using SPF at the moment since my skin's sensitive. It's just reacting to it, so I just skip it. But I urge you guys to always seal in your skin prep, whether it's your morning skincare or your skin prep. I always advise you guys to always seal it in with your SPF. Not only is it going to protect you from the sun, but it's also going to act as a primer. Very important, but even after you seal your skin prep with SPF, you can still go in after with primer. Just give it a few minutes for it to sit on your skin and then you can go in with your primer. So for today's primers, I want to do something glowy but also blurry. I'm going to take these two products right here. First, I like to apply my blurring primers. I'm going to go in today with the Lip Bar Blurring Primer. This one's going to blur your pores and just really help smooth this area of your skin. So go ahead and just target that right in the T-zone. While that is sitting on my skin, I'm going to go in with my Lumi Glotion from L'Oreal. And this one, I have it in medium glow. So this one, I'll just focus it on the high points of my skin, especially on the cheeks where I want the most glow. Just spread that and you can apply it on your forehead, on your chin. Just tap that into the skin and it's going to give that beautiful glow, that more luminous glow. Just avoiding the nose area where we applied the blurring primer. And just like that, we are nice and glowy and ready for foundation. Okay, next step, we're going to go in with foundation. This is going to help give you that coverage. Now there's many options to choose from. There's glowy foundations, matte foundations, skin tints, tinted moisturizers, many formulas that you can choose. So today I'm going to go in with a foundation, and one of my favorites from the drugstore is the L'Oreal True Match. I haven't used her in a minute. We're gonna apply her today. And before I forget this step, which is very important, a lot of people, including myself, have dark circles. So this is a step that you would apply your color corrector. A good one that I love is the Helloo Beauty color corrector, and I use this one in the shade Peach. A brush that I love to use is a more flat angled brush, and this is a concealer brush. This is the Sephora Collection Pro Concealer 71 brush, and I love to use this one for blending out products like these. If you don't need the corrector, you can absolutely skip it and go straight with foundation. But I do always like to apply a corrector. It depends how I feel on the day, whether I want to use a corrector or not. And you can see it helps with that discoloration under your eyes. You can bring it on the inner corner or on your eyelids, wherever you feel like you need to correct. For me, it's mostly this inner part of my eye and my under eyes. And just like that, it looks so much better. I don't have much of that darkness seeping through. Again, if you do want to apply corrector, make sure you're applying it before foundation. Let's go in with the L'Oreal. I like to apply 2 pumps. And this one does give a beautiful natural finish. So I wanted to show you guys the brushes that I like to use for foundation. These are the type of brushes that I like to use. I love this brush. This one's a more fluffier, flat brush. It's not completely flat, but it just has that angle to it, which is perfect for that natural makeup. This one's a more dense type of brush. This one's from Rare Beauty. Love this one to just pack in that coverage. Another favorite, which is this is my ultimate favorite. This is the Makeup by Mario. This is their F4 brush, and it's double-sided, so you have your dense side and then you have your more fluffier side just to lift any excess product of your foundation. So today we're gonna use the Makeup by Mario one because this one's my absolute favorite. Let me know if you guys want a video where I'm talking about my favorite brushes, because I feel like brushes are such a important step and part of your makeup. And this foundation has a lot of coverage for sure. It's almost giving me full coverage. I did went in with 2 pumps. That's why I like this brush, because I can't flip it over just to remove the excess. And just lightly going over on the areas where we applied that corrector. Whatever's left on the brush, just tapping it on the lids, just for that cohesiveness. Just using the other side of the brush just to lift any excess foundation. It doesn't look cakey and just heavy on the skin. Just further blending out that product, bringing it down your neck. And that is what it looks like. It's hard to tell if it matches my skin. I feel like it is a little bit light, but I've always had a hard time finding the perfect shade, and this is the closest I can get for my skin. Another thing you can also do is go in with the foundation and mixing it with any like illuminating product or glowy product. Further gives like that glowy skin like finish. Next up we have cream bronzer. Of course, typically when it comes to your makeup application, if you want your makeup to last, always go in with cream products and then powders. So for this step we have cream bronzer and cream contour. So bronze is mostly to mimic the warmth into your skin, and then cream contour is mostly just to sculpt your skin. So let me show you guys. We have the LYS bronzer stick, and this is going to be more of my warm shade. And we have the Makeup by Mario one, which is going to be more of like my contour shade. It's more neutral than the LYS, but this helps give me more of like that illusion of a contour, while the LYS gives me like that warm sun-kissed look. Let me blend this out just to really show you guys the difference. I feel like you're hardly going to tell the difference, but there's a huge difference on the color of the product. And of course, when it comes to contour, you always want to apply it before the hollow of your cheek, just to really give that lifted look. This is what the Makeup by Mario looks like. This is what the LYS looks like. You can tell difference. This is more so giving more sculpt, and this one's giving just like that warmth into the skin. Now, another step that's really on trend right now is bronzing. So basically, it's like that 2-in-1 step. It's not going to contour. It's mostly about bronzer and blush if they had a baby. This is the bronzer shade. I have the Huda Beauty blush filter in the shade Latte. So this is basically if you want to add that bronzer shade like the LYS, but you want that hint of color for your cheeks. This is what this product does. I'll do this another time, but just to give you guys an idea of what bronzing is. And I forgot to mention, for the cream bronzer or contour, I love going with a more angled brush like this one. This one is from Huda Beauty. Another brush that I love to use for contour is this Morphe one, and this is their M243 brush. Just these type of shapes to blend out your contour. Next up for blush, I'm just gonna go in with my Patrick Ta blush and She's Flush. For cream blushes, I love going with more of a stippling brush. So I love these type of brushes that have like just that angle to them. This one is from Rare Beauty. This is just their blush brush, and this one is the Morphe M242 brush. Another favorite that I use a lot on my channel and just in general is the Sephora Collection Pro Foundation brush. This is their 47 brush, but I love this one for cream blush. So taking the cream side of the Patrick Ta and applying that into the cheeks, and it just blends blush very seamlessly and very easy. Like, look at that. It just gives that hint of color right away. Such a beautiful, like, everyday shade. And again, you can go as natural as you want or as intense. It depends on the product. Certain blushes can peek through after setting the skin. Apply as much as you feel the need to. My forehead to give that sun-kissed look, also around my nose, and a little bit on the chin. Next step, we have concealer. Today I'm going to use the Born This Way concealer from Too Faced. So I'm going to use two shades. One is going to actually conceal the under eyes, but since we went in with a corrector, you don't necessarily have to go in with the dark shade. You can just go right away with the lighter shade. But just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to use both. I would go and use the darker shade, and this is mostly to conceal the under eyes. It's not going to brighten, just very lightly, but this is mostly just to add that extra layer of coverage. And for concealers, you do want to go in with more angled brushes like these. This one's from Anissa Beauty, this one's from BK Beauty, and this one's the new Morphe one that I just tried out. Different types of finish and coverage on concealers. There's luminous concealers, matte concealers, satin concealers, anything that you could choose from. So this is a more fuller coverage concealer, so I'm going to go in with my BK Beauty. It's a little bit more fluffier, but this one still has a little bit of like that density, but it's really not that dense. It's just more fluffier. And you guys, it's very important to know the tools that you are using. Certain tools can actually make your makeup separate or just like lift up, so make sure you're using the right tools and the proper tools when it comes to your makeup application. So this is what warm beige looks like. You see, it just gives me that right amount of brightness under my eyes. And of course, less is more with your concealer. If you want more coverage, of course, apply more. But a good tip is just letting your concealer sit under your eyes. We didn't do that today, but let's say you haven't done your blush. Go in with your concealer, let it sit, then do your blush, and then blend out your concealer. That is going to give you the most coverage out of your concealer and just using whatever's left on the forehead, on the chin. Okay, so you can see this is natural coverage, natural brightness. It's not giving me that much brightness, but it's just giving me just enough. But I do want to add more brightness, so I'm going to go in with light beige. This one you do want to focus it right at the inner corner of the eyes and just letting that sit just a few seconds before we blend. Let's blend, blend, blend. And of course, if you do experience a lot of creasing, you do want to avoid a lot of product under here on your fine lines. Mostly blend that product underneath just to avoid creasing under your eyes. I do experience that too. But I feel like what also plays a huge part is your powders, depending what powder you're using, which I am going to explain now. So there you go, you guys. You definitely see the brightness this side compared to that side. Like I'm telling you, it's going to give you that more awake effect for your under eyes. And again, not wasting that product. If you feel like you used a lot, just apply it on your T-zone. I love to apply concealer here for that lifting effect. Once you blended that concealer out, go back with your blush brush that you use with your cream blush and just blend the edges, and it's definitely going to give that more seamless blend. You can see you can leave it like this how it is, but this one just looks a little bit more seamless. Okay, next step is one of my favorite steps, powder. This is when we truly see the transformation of our makeup. So for the under eyes, I love going with my pressed powder and then loose powder method. So basically you go in with your pressed powder first. This just gives more even application when applying powder under your eyes. And then you go in with your loose. Technically with loose powders, I like to use more of a brightening powder. So for pressed powders, I love going with my Kosas. If you watch my videos, you know I'm obsessed with Kosas. I'm so proud because I literally already hit pan on the product. This is one of my favorite pressed powders for the under eyes. It does not dry your under eyes out. It sets while just giving you that natural glow. Going with a more skin colored product, just something that's going to match the under eyes. Basically just adding that coverage first before we brighten it. But I want to experiment with a different powder. You can go in with a translucent powder. This one is the Makeup by Mario one, and this one I have it in the shade Neutral Peach. So since this is a peachy powder, I do want to use this one first just to set the makeup. And to set the under eyes, we love using a good powder puff. One of my favorites is from Sephora collection. This is one of my favorite powder puffs. Before we set the under eyes, we do want to blend that concealer one more time just to make sure we have no creases going on. Now we can set, and also when you do apply powder, make sure you're blending it out first for an even application under your eyes. Because I know this is a loose powder. It's not like the Kosas one. The Kosas is a pressed powder. So with the Kosas, you wouldn't necessarily have to like blend it or pre-blend it on your hands. But with this one you do because it's a loose powder and you want it to apply evenly under your eyes. Going right in. I love this formula because it gives that natural finish. It doesn't mattify your skin as heavily. And you guys know what I'm gonna mention. The Helloo Beauty one, that one is mattifying. That one is going to be great for oily skin, but any skin type can use it. But if you find Helloo to be just super heavy under the eyes or just way too mattifying, definitely check out the Makeup by Mario one. It literally blurs and smooths out your skin. Like you can definitely see that blurring action. So here you're just gonna set everywhere where you applied that concealer. I mostly like to focus this on the T-zone, also on my lids, just to really set everything down. Just applying that right at the edges of the nose where it's hard to reach. Okay, so this is what the skin looks like. We are looking nice and blurred and smooth. Next step, this is where I typically set the perimeter of my skin. Now you can definitely skip it if you feel your skin's too mattified or you just don't need the extra powder. You can skip it, but I love setting the perimeter of my skin. This is just to make sure that when I do apply my powder products, it's not applying on a wet surface. On some days, I do want like that natural setting on the skin. So today I'm gonna go in with my Helloo Beauty. This is their pressed powder, and this one's in the shade medium. So this one's close to my skin tone, and I'm just gonna lightly dust this on the perimeter of my skin. Just lightly setting the perimeter of my skin. So this is one of my favorite steps that I like to do, and it's going to also provide that longevity. So yeah, we love her. Okay, next up we have bronzer, and there's so many formulas that we can choose for our bronzers. We have matte bronzers, glowy bronzers, anything that you can think of. Today I'm going to go in with my Kosas one. This is going to give that beautiful warmth into your skin while giving you that glow. This is more of a baked bronzer, so I want something that's going to bring back that glow into my skin. And one of my favorite brushes that I love to use for bronzer are these type of brushes. This is the Sephora collection. This is their Pro Powder brush in number 50, and this is the Morphe brush, and this is the M162 brush. These type of brushes, they're just a more fluffier brush, and this is perfect for bronzer. So let's apply some of the bronzer, tap off the excess. And this one's very pigmented. As you can see, it's already adding that pigment right away. Bringing it into the cheeks. This is one of my favorite formulas because it gives that beautiful sun-kissed glow while giving that warmth. Just really mimicking the sun and just brushing it onto the nose, onto the chin, and bringing whatever's left onto your neck or on your jawline. That is what she looks like. So pretty. I absolutely love this bronzer. And of course, there's also different shades of bronzers that you can also use for contour. For instance, I have this Fenty Beauty in the shade Caramel Cutie. Definitely a more neutral bronzer for me, so this one I technically use it more so for contour. So with this one, I just like to add just a little bit on the tip of my brush and just focusing that right on my cheekbones to give that contour effect. So right there. So yeah, you guys, any product that you apply on the cream version, applying it in the powder version is definitely going to ensure that longevity and that pigment. Let's go back with the Patrick Top Blush to reapply the blush. And for blush brush, I love these two type of brushes. This is one of my favorites. This is the It Cosmetics 113 brush. This is the new Morphe brush. This is the M202. These are my favorite type of shapes when it comes to blush. OG brush for me is this Sephora collection one. Literally, I don't know the name or number of the brush because it's already like scratched off, erased from so many times that I've been using it. It's definitely the same as the It Cosmetics one, like literally the same. Just the shape is more tinier, but it's literally the same, and this is my favorite for blush. Like, I absolutely love this one. But today I'm going to go in with the It Cosmetics one, and I'm going to apply the powder, tap off the excess. And these blushes are very pigmented, so a little bit goes a very long way. So pretty for every day. And I love this brush because you can just also sweep the blush into your cheeks for that seamless effect. Or you can just tap the product just for more control. Applying the rest on my nose, on my forehead, always keeping the look very cohesive. Again, if you went in with too much blush, you can always go back with your powder and just blend that out, always keeping it seamless. Okay, so right after I applied the Makeup by Mario one, I would typically brighten the under eyes, but I wanted to apply my other powder products just to see how the look is going. And I think I'm going to take that step. We're going to brighten the under eyes. So for brightening, I like going in whether it's a pink powder or a lilac powder, anything that has to do with brightening. So today I'm going to take my Kosas powder. This is their Cloud Sit powder in their loose version. This one is in translucent candy. This one's definitely going to be my more brightening shade. I love this one. I like to apply a little bit. I wanted to see if I was going to need the brightening powder, but now I'm realizing I really do want that extra brightness. Love how it has this little cover up just to make sure the product's not flying everywhere. Okay, this is what the product looks like. And going back with my puff and just, we're basically going to bake on the areas where I want the most brightness. Smooth it out on the back of your hand and apply. You can see that's definitely more brightening under my eyes compared to the Makeup by Mario one. You can definitely see that brightness. This one actually does provide a luminous finish just like the other powder, the pressed version. Here I like to bake under the cheeks just to really clean that up. And you can let this sit for how long as you want it to sit, but I'm going to wipe it away because I do have dry skin and I don't need it to sit for that long. Just going with any brush and just wiping that off. And you can see that brightness instantly. You can also go back with your powder puff and just melt that powder under your eyes just to really press that powder in. Okay, now that we are nice and bright, let's go in with our eyes. Another tip, you guys, you can go in with your bronzer as your eyeshadow and apply it on your lids. Applying bronzer on your crease is going to really give that cohesive look, and it's just a quick way to do eyeshadow. You can also do this before you're doing glam eyeshadow. It's like that pre-step before you do your eyeshadow. I'm going to do a quick look for you guys. You can go ahead and apply your mascara and be done with your eyes. I do want to do a little bit of something to the eyes. I'm going to go in with these two shades from the Patrick Ta Major Dimensions. And again, I just want to add just something light into the eyes, nothing crazy. And just connecting that into your nose just for that cohesiveness. I'm going to go in with a brown eyeliner pencil. This one is from Makeup Forever and this one's in the shade Limitless Brown. And just running that into the waterline just for a little bit of smokiness. It's just to add a little bit of something into the eyes. A possible dupe that I found on this pencil is this Wet n Wild Color Icon pencil, and this one's in the shade Chocolate Cheat Day. This one's a little bit more creamy. I'm just going to apply that on top. I do notice this formula does run a little bit. So again, just blending that out just for that little bit of smokiness. And just adding this on the waterline. I'm going to apply some quick lashes and I'll be right back. Okay guys, lashes are on. I am obsessed with this look. Love how simple and easy the eyes are, but they still give that glam effect. I went in with my Bare Affair lashes, my last pair, just with that brown eyeliner that easy bronzer into the eyes. Definitely created this simple but just beautiful look onto the eyes. I love. Let's finish the skin. And again, you guys, if you want to skip lashes, you absolutely can. Just go in with your mascara for that more natural look. So here's when you want to add your highlight. You can add your highlight the last step of your makeup, but I'm going to apply highlight now. Before we move on with the highlight, I do want to mention, you guys, an important part of powders. So I went in with the Helloo Beauty powder, and this one's going to give a more natural finish. Going in with a more powder foundation, this is going to give you more coverage. I did want to explain that little detail for you guys. Powder foundations are meant to give more coverage. Pressed powders are going to give a little bit more of that natural finish. So it just depends what finish you're looking for. With highlight, I just love that beautiful glow into the cheeks. Something more on the natural side, so I love going with the Essence. This one's going to definitely give you that more pearlescent glow. Just something natural and just like glowing from within. Another formula that I love for that glow onto the cheeks is a more luminous blush. This is like that 2-in-1 that it's going to give you color but also that glow onto the cheeks. This is one of my favorites. This one's in the shade Happy. I'm not going to apply her today, but I did wanted to mention that. I'm going in with the Essence, and you're going to see how it gives that glow back into your skin without it being too heavy. It's just meant to make you look like you're glowing from within. So you can definitely see the difference. You can see that glow. Like, it's just one of my favorite like highlighter products. It's really giving you that glow from within, but not really enhancing that texture at all. Such a beautiful product. Another similar product to this is, of course, the Hourglass highlighting products. They're definitely going to give you that within glow, but this one's a good alternative if you don't have the Hourglass one. I definitely want to try them out because I've heard so many good things about Hourglass, especially like their glow highlighting products. Okay, let's move on with the lips. One of my favorite formulas for lip liners are, of course, going to be more long wearing formulas. So new favorites that I've been loving are these Sephora collection lip liners. These are their 8-hour lip liners. I have 2 shades. The brown one's in the shade Frosted Chestnut, and then the other one's in the shade Frappuccino. So I think I'm going to go in with Frosted Chestnut. I love Frappuccino for everyday look. So these are going to give you that long wearing effect. Like, you are not going to need to touch up throughout the day at all. And that's what you're really going to look for into a lip liner. So I like to overline the Cupid's bow and just follow the natural line on the side of my lips. Just like that. Why not? Let's just add Frappuccino just on the sides of the lips to give that ombre look. Now for the center of the lips, that's when you go in with a lighter color. Two of my favorites are these two, the Milani Fetish Matte Lipstick and the Anastasia Liquid Lipstick. You can go in with a regular bullet lipstick or a liquid lipstick. Let's just go in with the Anastasia one. This one's in the shade Peachy Nude. And just going just a little bit on the center. These are very, very pigmented. A little bit definitely goes a long way. And I love this formula because it definitely blurs and softens the lines of your lips while giving that blurring effect. So this is beautiful on its own. Like, I can stop right here and go about my day, but of course we're gonna add a gloss on top. So here's the thing with glosses. Certain glosses do have a more heavy pigmentation. Sometimes you don't have to necessarily go in with a lipstick. you can just go in with the gloss and it's going to give you that color payoff. But certain lip glosses, they are more of a thinner formula, so you do have to add a little bit of that extra coverage on your lips. So just like I did right now, I added the lipstick for that extra coverage, but when it comes to more heavier glosses, you don't need to do that because it already provides that coverage. So for an example, we have these two right here. This one I just discovered recently, and this one's definitely a more heavier lip gloss. This one's the one from Makeup Forever, and this is the Fenty Beauty lip gloss. This is more of like their shimmer formulas. So this is the Fenty one. This one's definitely a more thinner formula, and this one's the Makeup Forever one, and you can definitely see how this one's going to provide more color and just more of a punch for your lips. Today I'm going to go in with Fenty because it matches with the vibe of today's look. So just applying it on the center. Just on the center. Look how pretty and stunning it is. I absolutely love this formula. We are on our last step, you guys. We have now setting sprays. Okay, when it comes to setting sprays, you want to make sure you're doing the best of both worlds. So you're going to use one to basically melt the powders of your skin. It's not going to necessarily melt your makeup away. It's mostly just to remove that powdery finish. So this is a good one from Charlotte Tilbury. It is going to provide that longevity, but it's just not going to be like foolproof. It's going to be more hydrating, so we're just going to melt the powders on our skin. Just a light layer of that one, and it's going to bring more glow back to the skin. You can immediately see the glow on my forehead and just giving that hydration for your skin. Okay, last but not least, we're going to completely make this like foolproof, heat proof, all of that good stuff. So that's when you go in with one size. This is literally hairspray for your face. You definitely have to be careful when it comes to this type of setting spray. This is not an everyday setting spray. This is going to be your more occasional setting spray, like for an event or you have somewhere important to be. You just really need your makeup to last. That is where you're going to go in with this one. Close your eyes when you're applying this. Make sure you're really coating all around the skin so this can actually help your makeup to last. And do not open after a few seconds. I'm telling you, these products are very strong and you don't want this going into your eyes. Give it a minute, give it a second. Hold your breath if you need to, or if you have to walk out of the room, do that also. And just like that, our makeup is now set. And that's it, you guys. We are all done. This is the final look, you guys. I hope you guys find this video helpful. I hope these tips are helpful for you guys if you're just beginning into makeup. Definitely wanted to do a step-by-step. I feel like I was needing to do this for my channel. Love how the glam came out. Very bronzy, very just giving all the bronzy vibes. Love how the eye makeup was super easy. All it took was a simple eyeshadow, bronzer, eyeliner, lashes, and that's it. This is my beginner's step-by-step tutorial. I hope you find this helpful. Let me know if you guys have any more ideas. Let me know down in the comments. If you're new here, welcome. I'm happy to have you guys here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.